Okay, let's see how you did. Here are the solutions. What is the percentage of libraries having between 15,000 and 35,000 book titles? Since the units across the bottom are thousands of book titles, the base length of each interval is 10 instead of 10,000. So, to find the percentage of libraries having between 15,000 and 35,000 book titles, we're looking for the units of 15 to 35 on the horizontal axis. That takes 5 of the 10 units on the second rectangle, all 10 of the units on the third rectangle, and 5 of the 10 units on the fourth rectangle, which represent 31, 32, 33, 34, and 35,000 titles. To calculate that, we would write 5 times 1.5% plus 10 times 2.1% plus 5 times 0.9%, which equals 33%. So our answer is 33% of the libraries have between 15,000 and 35,000 titles. What is the percentage of libraries having between 15,000 and 35,000 titles inclusive? Again, with the units across the bottom representing thousands of book titles, the base length of each interval is 10. To find the percentage of libraries having between 15,000 and 35,000 titles inclusive, we would do almost the same thing we did in the first practice problem, except for the first bit of figuring. Since we now are including libraries with 15,000 titles, we're using 6 out of the 10 units in that second rectangle, which is labeled 10 to 20. So we would figure the total percentage like this: 6 times 1.5% plus 10 times 2.1% plus 5 times 0.9%, which equals 34.5. So our answer is 34.5% of the libraries have between 15,000 and 35,000 titles inclusive. What is the percentage of libraries having between 51,000 and 56,000 titles inclusive? Again, since there are 10 units in each base category, and the part that we're looking at has 6 units in it, inclusive, which means we start with 51,000 titles, then 52, 53, 54, 55, and 56,000 titles, all of which are in the same rectangle with the height of 1.8%. We'll simply do all our figuring like this: 6 times 1.8%, which equals 10.8%. So our answer is 10.8% of libraries have between 51,000 and 56,000 titles inclusive. What is the percentage of libraries having between 1,000 and 12,000 titles? Since our interval isn't inclusive, we're using all 10 of the base units in the first rectangle except 1 for 1,000. We're also adding 2 of the base units for the second rectangle for 11,000 and 12,000 titles. That gives us 9 times 1.2% plus 2 times 1.5%, which equals 13.8%. So our answer is 13.8% of libraries have between 1,000 and 12,000 titles. If you got 3 out of the 4 of these correct, you're ready to demonstrate what you know in a short quiz on this section. If you missed 2 or more, you probably should go back and work through this section again before trying your hand at the assessment.